Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Challengers section, round 12, the penultimate round of this. It has been enthralling, it has been engrossing, and it will be coming to an end. We start off with the leader, Andy Woodward. His fate was in his own hands. Did he mess it up? He had the black pieces. We had a symmetrical game. It went into a Roy Lopez, an open Roy Lopez, with the Neo Archangels. We've seen this line before in these recaps. Not going to cover too much of the theory. These players know it quite well. This is interesting though. You don't... Like, H3 is normally played early to stop this knight jump. The knight comes in, right? And me, I would be like, oh, I messed up my move order. I'll go back, kick out the knight, and then go back to D3. Eventually just goes here. Says, thinks a bit and says you can have this. So we get Queen C8, so that this knight can move, and this is not hanging. We get Queen E2, short castles. Now we take, on the queen side, takes. We trade off a set of rooks, and now, ooh, eventually wins the pawn. Doesn't really, because the knight comes back, which targets the bishop. We take, knight takes bishop, we take the knight, I take this, rook takes, and now I take back here. I'm still up a pawn, aren't I? And like, I could have had a second one. You don't want to give this up, so you'd rather defend this and then try and win this back. We get the interesting move c6, so takes, queen takes here. Eventually she's up 2 pawns. But he's down an hour on the clock. And it's not so simple. I could take this. These 2 pawns, while they're strong, if you could support them well, I have enough firepower probably to keep them. So queen a1 pins the knight. You can go back, but now queen here. And you've almost got no choice. You have to play like queen c3, takes, and now the bishop comes in. And even though you can try and defend everything, we just repeat moves and make a draw. Because I'm going to keep pressuring this knight, because it's like got your king on the back rank. You can't really get your queen out anywhere, and you've got to try and defend this as best as you can. All you can do is move along the back rank. So Andy Woodward manages to hold together a draw despite being put under pressure. But I'll tell you who didn't manage a draw. Aydin Suleymanli. He was playing Marc-Andre Morizzi, who is one of the frontrunners. He's chasing down Andy Woodward. Both of these guys desperately need a result. And so who scores the result? Who scores a decisive victory when they need it the most? This was an Italian game, I believe. This was an Italian game, right? E4, E5, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was a Spanish for a second. B5, you can see White following the Italian game plan of pushing heavily on the queen side. Takes, bishop d7. Sorry, I could feel my voice going. Queen a4, and now f5. Inaccuracies all over the place, but it's because we're both trying to knock each other out. h3 is a mistake. Now we, block out this bishop. This bishop never sees the light of day again. You've got to crack at the center with d4. This is your only hope to liberate the dark squared bishop. So rook a8. Now we push for a6. Queen moves over to e8. You might say, wait, hang on. Why don't I take this? Because it's not like... Because bishop takes c6. And then you take here, and then what? I take back. I win a piece. So you've got to defend everything. That's what that pawn push... You might say, wait, hang on. Why in this position can't you do it? Because here, I undermine this. Very important detail. So queen moves over to defend. Now queen moves out the way. We don't want to hang it. Takes. Pawn takes. And now look at this. g5. We've done my little play here. We're done with everything on this side of the board. We're done. I've liquidated it. I've clarified everything. Aydin is concerned with this. That is what he's concerned with. He's not worried about this. He's worried about this. Bishop b5. We trade one set of rooks, but now bishop f6. Looks interesting, because now what I can do is I can continue to push, and even though you've rerouted your knight, your dark squared bishop still cannot see the light of day. And even though you can go here and trade off the light squared bishop, your dark squared bishop is not in the game. And that is going to become a huge problem. You could get it all the way to g1. And now it finally has scope. But is your king really safe? Black is better here convincingly, and it's just about finding the right move at the right time. Queen h1. And you might say, wait, hang on, but I can play like king d2. King d2 loses if you play it. Queen takes g2 check. Now where do you go? Anywhere back along, you lose this. So queen h1. Apologies. King f1 to defend, but now the bishop comes back. And you've got problems. So queen c5, now knight g6, queen e3, queen h4, rook a6, and Aydin Suleymanli gets a decisive attack on the king. We get a discovery, we get back down to h1, and we play rook f2. Beautiful move. The bishop is pinned, and you obviously cannot take. You would lose everything you own. And now I'm going to take this bishop, and I'm going to mate you. And now, when we look at the final standings, after 12 rounds, it looks as follows. Here are all the decisive games. Daniel Yuffa defeated Carissa Yep. Faustino Oro drew against Vasyl Ivanchuk. Ivanchuk kind of needed that victory. He really needed that extra half point because he was chasing, but now he's fallen a little bit behind because Aydin scores a victory. Andy Woodward, who led, now has only a half point. Erwin Lamid drew at Venden Padasar. Max Varmadam defeated Bibisara. Alien Robers, I was so happy for her. She scores her second point of the tournament, a second victory. And so, after 12 rounds, the standings are as follows. We once again have a tie for the lead between Aydin Suleymanli and Andy Woodward. And then close behind is Vasyl Ivanchuk. It is a 3-horse race going into the final round. Ivanchuk could still win it all. He could still force tie breaks if he ends up on the same score as the leader. If he wins and they both draw, it's very interesting. And so, as we scroll down, we see all those things. We know Rubis is at the bottom, Lumiyoy, Panasar, Ivanchuk, Lamy, Yufa, Carissa Yep, Varmadam, Oro, Bibisara, and then Mark Andre Maritzi. When we go to the results, you obviously saw the results for round 12. So we're looking at the round 13 pairings. And what we have is Andy Woodward has got the white pieces versus Erwin Lamy. This is what we mentioned yesterday. Vasyl Ivanchuk has got the black pieces against Daniel Yuffa. Aydin Suleymanli has got the white pieces against Vasyl Ivanchuk. That win with the black pieces was so important. Andy Woodward not able to win with the black pieces. Can either of them win tomorrow with white? If they both win, they force tie breaks, and Ivanchuk is out. If either of them draw, or they both draw, Ivanchuk can force tie breaks, with himself included. It is going to be a fascinating end to the Tata Steel Challengers 2026.